The biting wind howled a mournful dirge across the barren plains, mirroring the desolation in Elias Thorne's soul. Jobless, adrift in a sea of evaporating opportunities, he was a hollow man, each passing day a heavier stone in his pockets. It was then, amidst the flickering lamplight of a forgotten cafe, that an odd, stark advertisement caught his eye. Not an illuminated billboard, but a weathered flyer tacked to a notice board, whispering secrets of desperation and dark allure. Recuperation offer for those of stout heart and clear mind, willing to undertake 2 nights of solitary vigil in a remote, forgotten manor. Substantial remuneration of £2 million for a detailed, honest account of all sensory perceptions. Discretion paramount. Inquire within Veridian Pact Holdings. 2 million. A sum so colossal it seemed a marriage. Yet the stark simplicity of the offer, the lack of embellishment, lent it a perverse credibility. Elias, with nothing left to lose but his sanity, folded the flyer and walked into the storm. The journey led him deeper into the desolate heart of the countryside, to the hamlet of Ashworth, a place where time seemed to have stopped, choked by creeping moss and ancient fears. The villagers, gaunt and shadowed, eyed him with a mixture of suspicion and pity. When he inquired about them in Grimshaw Manor, they called to their faces contorted in expressions of profound dread. Cursed, one old woman rasped, her eyes like chipped flint. An evil place. The earth itself rejects what transpired there. Their warnings, however chilling, were drowned out by the siren call of £2 million. His appointment was at a nondescript office in a nearby town, a building as unremarkable as the man who greeted him. Sir Silas Vance was a gaunt figure in his late 50s, impeccable in a charcoal suit, his face a pale mask, his eyes like polished obsidian. There was an unsettling stillness about him, a predatory calm. He presented Elias with the contract, its clauses dense and binding. The core stipulation: remain within Grimshaw Manor for 2 consecutive nights, from dusk till dawn, documenting every sight, sound, and sensation in the provided journal. Under no circumstances, Vance's voice was a low hum, are you to leave the manor once the doors are sealed? Not until the second dawn breaks. Elias sighed, the pen feeling like an icicle in his hand. Vance handed him a tarnished brass key, a flickering lantern, and a leather-bound journal with an old quill pen. Return precisely at noon on the 3rd day, Vance concluded, his lips stretching into a semblance of a smile that never reached his eyes. Grimshaw Manor stood hunched against the bruised twilight sky, a monolithic silhouette against the backdrop of skeletal trees. Its windows were vacant eyes, reflecting the dying light like cold, dead pupils. The air grew heavy, pregnant with the unspoken, as Elias pushed open the massive oak door. A gust of fetid air, thick with the scent of damp earth and decay, assaulted him. The smoke danced in the anemic glow of his lantern, forming spectral cyclones in the cavernous main hall. The first night was a slow descent into dread. The house groaned and whispered around him, a living entity within unit sleep. Footsteps echoed from floors above, to somebody shuffling like worn slippers. Elias, his heart a frantic drum against his ribs, navigated the labyrinthine corridors until he stumbled upon a small room. It was unmistakably a child's nursery, frozen in time. A miniature rocking horse stood sentinel, its painted eyes chipped and lifeless. A porcelain doll, its dress tattered, lay slumped in a dusty crib, and on a small, unsteady table, a delicate wooden music box. As Elias' trembling hand reached for it, a faint, melancholic tune began to drift from its depths, self-animated, a phantom lullaby winning through the oppressive silence. He scrambled back, his breath catching in his throat. Then the whispers began, insidious and faint, like rustling leaves in a graveyard. "Help me," a child's voice, fragile as spun glass. A cold breath feathered against his neck, and a tiny, spectral hand seemed to brush his arm. He saw her then, a fleeting shadow, small and indistinct, flitting between the spectral dust motes. A girl. He meticulously recorded every chilling detail in the journal, his hand trembling, his mind teetering on the precipice of terror. The second night was a maelstrom, a phenomena intensified, coalescing into tangible dread. The child's form solidified, shimmering translucent, her eyes, dark wells of sorrow, fixed on him. "Lillian," she introduced herself, her voice a fragile whisper that resonated not in his ears, but directly in his mind. She appeared beside him, a cold spot in the air, her presence tangible, sorrowful. "They killed us," she whispered, her voice laced with ancient pain. "My family, my parents, the old man did it. The founder of their pact." Her gaze hardened, chilling Elias to the bone. "This isn't a test for observation, Elias. It's a test of reaction. If you report seeing us, hearing us, they take you to the next stage. They bury you in the garden with the others." A wave of nausea washed over Elias. The immaculate garden he'd seen from a distance, a burial ground. He felt a sudden, profound pity for Lillian, trapped in this purgatory. "I can help you," Lillian continued, "if you help me stop them. Tell them you saw nothing. Nothing at all. This house, it's just an old, empty shell. Boring. Tell them it was a waste of time and money. Insist on your contract back. They will try to tempt you with an even grander offer, a high position, more money. Don't take it. Demand the contract. It's their hold over you. Only then will you be free." Her spectral hand, cold as grave dust, touched his own. "To this, Elias. Help me stop them. Free us all." Dawn broke, a sickly gray light seeping through the grimy windows, painting the dust motes in grim hues. Elias, gaunt and sleep-deprived, walked out of Grimshaw Manor, the key heavy in his palm, the journal a testament to a truth no one would believe. He met Mr. Vance precisely at noon. The man's obsidian eyes probed Elias, searching for signs of fear, madness, or awe. Elias presented the journal. "A complete waste of time and resources, Mr. Vance," he stated, his voice flat, devoid of emotion. "The manor is just an old house. Dusty, yes, but utterly devoid of anything supernatural. I saw nothing, heard nothing, felt nothing but boredom and chill." Vance's pale face registered a flicker of surprise, quickly masked. "Nothing at all. But many have reported unusual experiences." He tried to coax Elias, to suggest hidden fears, to imply Elias was suppressing his true account. Perhaps the experience was overwhelming. "We understand such things can be unsettling." "No," Elias maintained, his resolve solidifying with every word. "It was empty, boring. Now about my contract. I'd like it back. For my records." Vance hesitated, his lips tightening into a thin line. "Mr. Thorne, we are impressed by your resilience. We have a more substantial offer. A permanent position within the Veridian Pact. A much larger sum, a role of great importance in our research." "The contract, Mr. Vance," Elias interrupted, his gaze unyielding. "I want it back." Now the silence stretched, taut as a piano wire. Vance's mask began to crack, a vein throbbing faintly in his temple. He was unaccustomed to such defiance. Finally, with a frustrated sigh, he produced a file, extracting Elias' signed contract. He slammed it onto the desk. "You are quite unyielding, Mr. Thorne. Very well, Elias snatched the document, a wave of profound relief washing over him. He stood, not bothering with pleasantries. Good day, Mr. Vance. He left the office, the contract clutched in his hand like a sacred relic. As he stepped into the weak sunlight, a faint, ethereal shimmer appeared beside him. Lillian. Her transparent form seemed brighter, less sorrowful. A faint, knowing smile touched her lips. "Thank you, Elias," she whispered, her voice filled with a lightness that hadn't been there before. And like morning mist, she dissipated and gone. Elias walked away, the £2 million a meager comfort against the chill that had settled deep in his bones. He had escaped, yes, but he had seen the abyss. He knew now that the Veridian Pact was not a company, but a network of predators, harvesting fear and death, lurking in the shadows of the world. And Lillian's desperate plea echoed in his mind. "Help me stop them. Free us all." A chilling understanding blossomed. She had just thanked him for his freedom. She had enlisted him in a war he never knew existed.